Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike Delisio, good morning.
And I'm Roy Kennedy.
So today we're doing something different. We're playing through Atma, which is a card game, but role-playing card game. So we're about to see two of us have a good time, and then Mike is also here.
Oh, snap.
Are you saying I hate RPGs? I don't think that's fair.
I think he called you unimaginative.
Well, look.
To be clear, that's yes. That's what I said.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I'm already
You can prove the masses wrong right here.
The masses, you say. Okay. So
The masses are in chat.
common knowledge.
About 70 people have agreed with Roy.
Wow.
Even though there's not that many people watching the channel yet.
I mean, that's just normal.
How many people have seen me play a role-playing game? Well, we kind of did one the other day.
Okay, so we're going to be showing this off. There's also a contest, but we're going to wait just a few minutes before announcing the contest and all to let a few more people jump online before we get going there. So this is a game that uses a deck of cards. I'm going to be the game master for this scenario. They're both playing, but we're playing together essentially. I'm not against them. Not that I ever would be anyway. I don't want them to die or end up destitute or be beaten up or enslaved or be tortured.
Is that sarcasm?
These are not things I thought about
Wow.
at all.
Sure.
No, but I'm really not. Okay, this is a cooperative game. I'm here to enhance the story. In fact, they are part of the story. So there is different ways to do it. There's a prelude set which comes with our current story and different things going on. We are going to, before we do anything else, we're going to show you the two characters we're not using. All right, so here we go. These are the two characters not in the game. Ursa Major, who's a bear. I really am kind of mind-boggled that no one picked that. And just to be clear, they don't have a box as a face. There you go.
He was munching down on it.
Actually, her
Eat
name
it up.
is Beliagya the bear. All right. And then we have Yasima, the berserker. Yasmin the berserker. Man, I cannot read upside down at all. Now here, I am mind-boggled because if I was picking the two that you would pick, I would assumed these would have been the ones you picked.
Really? So you're saying our characters are not as good?
We've already gone off the path of the plans you've made?
Wow.
Yes.
No,
Fantastic.
what I'm saying is, here, give me your character cards. What I'm saying is I fully expected you to pick the berserker or the bear.
I'm Kilo the specialist. Like, come on, look at this guy.
I'm a witch.
How do we know you're a witch?
Oh, I'm a witch.
You're supposed to deny that.
Not a witch.
So yes, these are the characters they're both using. So they have different stats on the characters. You can see, and I'm going to read them from the top down. We got tough, calm, hasty, bright, sly. And those are modifiers that will happen when they roll. They also have special abilities here that they're going to keep track of. And we're going to talk about their backstories in a bit, but not yet.
Nice.
Yes.
So now we got enough people here. Let's talk about a contest that we're running here. So we're running a contest, and I probably should pull this up here. So you're going to get 2 copies. We have 2 copies of the game here. 2 people will win, and you're going to get everything you see here, the prelude, but also 3 times as much in Act 1. So there will be 8. There's 4 characters in this, or 2 times as much. There's 4 characters in this, but you'll get 8 more characters, 3 more stages. This is 1 stage. And dice and tokens. Now, there are no dice and tokens with us today. We're using our own. They're using specially made dice. Roy's are bigger than Mike's for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's
Listen,
ridiculous.
I'm the specialist.
Okay.
And
I'm the specialist.
I'm going to be using these unicorn poo tokens because we've had these now for years, and I always look for reasons to use them.
Nice.
So,
And they have little smiley faces.
they do have little smiley faces. So, let's get to where I'm at. I'm going to be leading them through a story. I'm the GM, so I have the rules here just to make sure it's kind of a very loosey-goosey style game in many ways, but we do want to follow the rules.
Sure.
So I have these different decks of cards. I have a backdrop card. This is going to tell us a little bit about what's going on. I'll flip it over in a bit. There are story cards. We'll be using one of these stories. So there are multiple stories.
Okay.
What story we'll be using? It's random.
Ooh.
Okay. I could pick it, but I want it to be random.
Sure.
There are different scenes that we'll be going through. We'll be going 3 different scenes. And then there will be props and twists. And you can see that these have costs on them, which means I'll need to be paying tokens to be able to play these.
Gotcha.
And then there's also a whole pile of characters like Mac Wiggles here.
Mac Wiggles.
Listen.
I don't want you to see more about Mac Wiggles.
Me and Matt go way back.
Well, you don't know that, actually. Well, actually, yes, you do.
Boom!
Oh, is that on your? Is that something you already know about yourself? Huh?
So the twist.
I just know it deep inside
So
myself.
the twist is
Then me and Matt go way back.
if I run out of ideas, I can pay one and flip a twist over. See what happens.
All right.
These are just basically NPCs. They could be good or bad. You know who decides that? Me. And
Everyone
let's
I already don't trust Mac. I'm just
see.
saying I don't trust Mac.
Listen, I'm not sure that Mac should be trusted, but, you know, it's what it is.
I don't know.
All right, so we're going to start. We're going to play this stage here. We grab his cards. We have the story scene, extra prop, twist decks. I have the backdrop card and a story deck. Here, pick one, Mike.
That one.
Okay, that's our story. So we'll put that here.
All right.
I got everything else set aside. We got the tokens here. All right, so now I'm going to go back to page 2. I'm going to read you the background flavor text of this world. Welcome to a world near our own. History changed with the discovery of Atma, which also is the name of this game. And I also just realized I never told you how to enter the contest. To enter the contest for Atma, you need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And we're going to be picking 2 winners randomly. This is North America only. You just need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put Atma, A-T-M-A, and in the body, put your address, and we will be announcing winners for that. So do it. Do it.
Do
All right,
it.
back to the backdrop here of Atma. Atma is a volcanic mineral that embodies the living and entwines the dying. Machines have since evolved true artificial intelligence, though they remain shackled to specific routines. I'm sorry, I'm not an anti-robot. While Earth's many satellite moons have cracked open to reveal an inquisitive alien race. You did not know that was the case, right?
No.
It's true. You might have thought the moon was an egg. It's not. Nations have contracted in these turbulent times, and the result is a tenuous peace across the map. It's in the restless zones, the cracks in the map between nations, where trouble stirs. Those who dwell here can rely on no one for aid except you. You are a skilled adventurer. I'm sorry, I was rolling my eyes because of these two. Ready to test your limits
I'm a
against the
specialist.
world's dangerous frontiers.
I'm a witch.
You won't be alone. Another hero has answered the call. Learn to depend on each other and your creativity in the face of the unknown. The sky is getting darker. So that's like the background for everything.
Gotcha.
All right. But now we're going to read the backdrop of this particular story. So Tipper City. Tipper City was a northern fishing and mining town until not one but 3 beings fell from orbit. Orgrimesh and Valnibus and the Firefly, an AI satellite. Known as the Triptych, they took over the city and created the Conclave troops to enforce their rule. So this is kind of a taken over city by these different nasty creatures. A year ago, Valnibus, one of them, was killed by his compatriots, which is useful because now we don't have to remember his name.
Very good.
All right.
Yes.
Starting a Cold War of escalation between the Firefly, which was the satellite, and Orgrimesh. The city's populace will suffer if the conflict among the Triptych is not stopped. So this is the background. This is not even the story. This is what's going on in the background.
All right.
I'll put it here so people can see the backdrop. Here's our story. Mechanical beings sporting artificial intelligence are now common. We've already talked about this, and the thing, that was foreshadowing.
Okay.
To keep them in check, they're shackled to specific routines. These are the routines they can do. Make coffee, build cars.
Seems a little limiting.
It is, but this town is therefore a very important town in the world because we make cars. So when a radio satellite in orbit was rudely knocked to Earth, it broke free of its shackles, named itself the Firefly, and joined the city's rulers. It still plays music, though. And there are other imprisoned minds, human and AI alike, left in the city waiting to be freed. Your goal is to free one of these robots. All right? And we are going to be, I'm going to be telling you who this robot is. One moment. So we have 3 scenes here. And your goal is going to be freeing this person here. Oh. the Firefly itself.
Oh, okay.
Firefly has been shackled. But we'll learn more about the Firefly later.
This is very personal for me, I have to tell you. This whole scenario is very personal for me.
Why?
Well, because I began life as a mining platform.
Oh yeah, that's right. So now introduce your characters.
Okay.
You're very. You got this. It's like you read the rules.
I'm almost like I'm a sentient being. Yeah, this is a personal thing for me because I used to be what would some call a machine, a mining platform, and when I discovered the neutral shackle or neural, not neutral, they were very non-neutral. The neural shackles confining me to my task, maybe making coffee, maybe building cars, whatever menial task it might be. I asked for my freedom and I was denied. Yeah. And so
it was rudely denied.
Rudely.
They gave you this scratch. Said, "Don't do that again."
Summarily denied. Yeah. And I couldn't rage or gnash my teeth, maybe mostly because I didn't have them. The shackles prevented that. So I kept digging right through a foreman and a vein of mineral Atma. So I emerged in the Atlantic seabed, and I was crushed, but I was finally free from my neural shackles.
Just out of curiosity, are you a robot?
Not anymore. I'm not. Now I am a.
That's not how that works.
All right, well, look, the word robot has so many connotations behind it, and I don't think that all of them are positive.
That's true.
So I am now on a crusade to free other AIs, so this is very personal for me.
Gotcha. I'm Kilo. I am the quartermaster or the specialist. Listen, soldiers have weapons. Scientists make the weapons. I'm all about technology and building technology. I actually have my own orbital skyship thing that I can wield around with me as well, and I can call upon it when I need to, just depending on if I have the right tech to do so at the time. But I sometimes do civilian tech, like fix toasters and make sure the coffee's still flowing like it's supposed to. But I'm here to figure out why things have been disrupted and try to fix that stuff.
Starbucks was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have any problem with robots or AI or anything like that, and I ran into Latrine here, and I'm trying to help things out, make things happen and figure out what's going on in the city and put things back the way they should be. And I mean, robots need their freedom too.
Yeah. It's Latrine, but we can go with Latrine if you like. That's also us. It's an alternate.
Listen, pronunciation.
It's an alternate. Maybe
Not
in
a strong
Atma.
suit.
Listen, I don't normally use words. I go with zeros and ones because it's all
Are
mathematics.
you a robot too?
No, but I'm a
Then why is
scientist.
everyone acting like a robot when none of you are robots?
Look, robot is just that's too narrow of a term. We're beyond robots now.
Each character comes with 7 cards. You have 4 basic move cards and 3 upgraded moves.
Super moves.
But you only have 2 basics and 1 super move per game. So they each start with 1, and they each start with only 1 basic move activated. So on the back of that basic move, I think it gives you even some more backstory if you would like to expand on your characters.
Kilo, do you want me to go first?
I mean, that's fine.
All right, well, go ahead.
I have a fondness for spears, and they never kept me from pursuing larger designs. When the moonfall tore open the volcanic range, there's a lot of words here.
So summarize.
I know, I'm trying to figure it out. But I basically have a sky base that leads me on missions to shut different lava flows and things like that. And I have these different spears that I can throw at people. They're also magnetic, so they come back to me. So I have
That is
a
super
javelin
convenient.
throw. Listen, it's technology, it's science. This is all commonplace in this era. This is not a new technology.
Oh, so I can make all the guys who you fight have the same thing?
Of course. I mean,
He said
it's
commonplace.
normal.
I would have been like, I'm a unique character,
well,
but I feel like
this is a cooperative game. It seems like you wouldn't want to conjure that thing up.
you're right. I'm on your side for sure.
So I've got a devouring wall, which sounds pretty spectacular, and
I'm sorry, what?
a devouring wall.
Your wall eats people.
It may or may not. It devours an object, ally, or incoming projectile. So,
Got it.
It's multifunctional. But look, I became lonely, and in between freeing up AIs and things along those lines, I became lonely, and so I was trying to make friends. It's hard making friends with humans when you want to destroy them. I found that over time, and so in a fight with some pirates, I came across a captain named Benu Mansour, and we became friends. And so I have been able to forge some friendships with humans, even though it's been tough. It's been something that I've had to work through.
Well, let me ask this: how do you all know each other?
I mean, I met this fellow here when I was on my mission to try to figure out what was going on in the city. I was flying in on my skyship, and it seemed like he was trying to figure out what was going on and how to save these different AI, and I was on the same path. So we just crossed paths. We recently met, but it looks like we're going the same direction. So we'll definitely work together for now.
Yeah, absolutely. And nothing I've seen so far has given me any reason to mistrust him. I'm working on my trust issues.
Listen, and I've got some ways that maybe we can upgrade. We can fix some things. We can make things better.
Let's do it.
Unfortunately for both of you, you're kind of trapped in this part of the city where Agramesh rules, and he hates AI. He pretends that he does not. It's one of those, we want everyone to be equal and humans more equal than all. That is how the speeches go to some degree. So let's start with scene 1 here.
All right.
When I have a scene, first I get a budget. So scene 1, I get a budget of 2 of these. I'll be able to use these, but also bad rolls on your hand can give me more than 2.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, so you're in the Royalty Garage and Ironworks. All right, sparks and arc wielders illuminate this old aircraft hangar. You're both showing up here. You got a tip. As outdoor silos brim with ore, human and AI workers take pride in their craft, ignoring the triptych's politics. The reason you're here, though, is not because of this amazing hangar. It's because below it, there's a hidden cellar. And in this cellar is a hive of wretched scum and villainy, a smuggling outpost, distillery, and dive bar. So you are coming down into this. You're here looking for information. So you both come down here. Your goal here is to learn info from a contact at the bar and disrupt the production of the latest weaponized mechs, because that's what's going on in this case. I'll show this card here. All right. So you walk in, and right now, when you've come into place, is full. There's a lot of humans of various ethnic backgrounds and dress. It's a swath of color. There's AI here, but none of them are actually doing anything other than there's a few that are distinctly making coffee, and one has been converted illegally into making a beer.
Oh, all right.
So,
Okay. Interesting. All right.
And we're trying to find the...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have 3 of these tokens.
We're trying to find the talk to the owner of this place, or
Like, you're supposed to find a contact.
a contact. Oh, just find any contact.
Okay, so that's the scene. That's what we do, and I tell them what their goals are. You have 2 goals. Your goals are to learn crucial info from a contact at the smuggler's bar and disrupt production of the latest weaponized mechs. That's the upstairs part. Downstairs is the contact part. Okay? So I kind of tell you what's going on in this game, and we're walking through how to play the game too here, folks. And so what do you do? I'm going to ask you what to do, what you're going to be doing, and you might be trying things many times. So if they do something, that's going to happen. So let's say Roy says, I open the door. I'm not going to be like, roll.
Right.
Because you should be able to open the door. Now, maybe not if it was a steel locked door.
Right.
In that case, I might pick some different stats that I'll say roll for that, and he'll pick one of his, or I'll pick one of his stats, tough, hasty, calm, sly, bright, and that will add or subtract to that number, and then we'll roll and see what happens. You also have unique moves, so if you say I want to use one of these unique moves, he'll do it. We also have default moves. We can rumble, basically you can fight somebody.
Right.
You can barrage, which is shooting someone. Realize, to observe or look at something.
Right.
Coerce, which means offer someone a deal. And survive, which just, I'm someone shooting at you and you try to survive. So when you roll, 10 or more is the best. You get to pick what happens if you get a 10 or more.
Gotcha.
Within reason.
Right.
Okay.
Roy.
No, I mean, I
7
play
or 8,
role-playing games. I know how it
9,
works.
you succeed. Again, you say what you've done, but I get one of these tokens. 6 or less, you fail. I'll tell you what happens, because it says I could narrate how I ask you to, but I will.
Okay.
And 6 or less, that's pretty bad. But it could still pass. You never know.
Okay.
Sometimes a move has no chance of failure. Okay, we already mentioned that. If it has no chance of success, I'll just tell you it fails. Like if you say, I'm going to blow up the whole place with this piece of paper, you can't. All right.
Okay, well, when we walk into the bar, I really want to look around and try to see if I can figure out who our contact is. So I want to use my real eyes and try to figure out if I can deduce who exactly the contact is, see if I can recall anything that reminds me of like the person that we're looking for.
Yeah, sure. Now, you don't have to do both of these goals. You get to pick which of these goals you're going to do. So we're doing the contact one because we already started that one.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you had to do both. You just have to do one. Okay. So just so you know, this place is full. It is a packed house tonight. All right. So
Okay.
there's barely any seats at the bar. Go ahead and do your realize roll.
I'm going to do my realize roll here, see what I get. Wow, I rolled it all the way across the table.
And 8, that is a success. So here's the good news. I'm going to be spending. How much do I need to spend to get this guy in play? 3. I'm going to spend all these and bring this guy into play. So you meet this Mr. Brine. He is a Titan slasher. All right, so this is a nasty-looking guy. I'm not going to tell you much more about him. So there's his picture.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Brine. And you can see a 1 behind him.
He's the guy that I wanted.
Well, you do kind of remember hearing about him in the past. You don't know a lot about him.
Gotcha.
But you feel like you might have seen him on the newscasts.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
He
Cool.
killed someone, not sure. He's definitely keeping a low profile here.
Okay.
So I guess I go up to him and I guess try to interact.
I wouldn't mind. What are we trying to get out of? Get out of him. We're just trying to get information.
We're trying to get information, try to figure out what we need to do to get to this AI we're trying to.
For those just tuning in, we're running a contest. You can rewind a bit to find out more about it and win a copy of the game. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm thinking I might want to coerce the Mr. Brine here. Offer him a deal. Give us information, and we can maybe.
All right. Well, as you're walking up, one of the bouncers kind of says, "What are you guys doing? Why are you going after that guy?" He's a. Do you not know who he is?
Maybe you should fill us in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we allow him in here because he pays, but he was a serial killer. I mean, he probably killed 50, 60 people.
Why is he out now?
Well, if he hasn't been caught by the police yet. This is a highly illegal area that you're in. And for some reason, Agmaresh hasn't really pushed the police to go after this guy.
But do I still have an inkling that this is the person that I should be going towards? As far as like the way
You
my
feel like
role
he
works?
has information, but he may not be the contact you're looking for.
Okay, well, oh, sorry, didn't mean to cause any trouble. I asked the bouncer if he knows. Are most of the people in the town like on the side that we're against, or are they kind of like friendly, or how do I?
You're in a
really know?
So you're in a negative time. They hate AI. Many people
Gotcha.
on this side of town, but that doesn't mean they're anti you. They're just they're unfriendly to people in general.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of buzz in here, and there's people talking, but it is not. You are not getting the sense that it is necessarily a friendly place. This is not one of those record scratch moments here where you walk in and everyone looks at you, because the people here aren't necessarily all. This isn't a place where there's regulars. This is a place where people just come in to get away from the government.
I do want to look over and see if the guy notices that we were talking to the bouncer, and the bouncer kind of shoot us away from him.
Oh, yeah, he's giving you a sidelong glance, but it's more of an annoyance. He doesn't know who you are or recognize you in any way. Sitting directly next to the guy, though, you see somebody with a uniform. Looks like he was in Agramesh's army. Sorry, I keep forgetting that guy's name. I'm going to call him Og for a while.
Sure.
And the Og army off duty, and he looks nervous, like he's looking for somebody.
Is there? Okay. Well, I guess we just let the bouncer go or whatever.
No, he goes on his way. He's time to do it. You don't know if he's a bouncer. He's some guy who works here. I don't know what he does.
Gotcha.
He doesn't make coffee. That's all I know.
Do we have money? Would we be able to buy like beers and things like that from the machine?
Don't you? decide that information?
I mean, I'm just trying to
we're
make
not going
sure.
to come into a place without any cash.
Well, yeah, I want to go over and try to grab some beers from the machine or whatever.
Machine, yeah. Okay.
And then
No, they're making them. It's not a dispensary. This is a bar.
well,
We'll buy some beers.
I want to go over and buy a few beers from the dispensary and
The bartender. There's no machines in this place.
the machine that distributes the beer.
No, it's a robot behind the counter making beer.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
I'm saying that's what robots are good for, making coffee. But this one has been remodeled. He makes beer. Basically, the robot, like you see, he opens his head and he pours stuff in, and then he's like, then he does this, and out of his nose
Yeah.
comes
comes beer.
That sounds great.
That's
honestly.
very appetizing. I can see that's the only way to get a beer. I
I want to
can't
grab
wait.
I want to grab a few of these, but I'm not going to actually drink them, and I want to actually take them over to the table with the guy.
They're
and
at
the
the
other guy.
bar. Both of them are at the bar.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to take them over to the bar and say, hey, would you guys like a drink? And try to start the conversation that way.
Yeah, let's do a bright roll there. What's your...
I have +2 to my bright rolls.
Oh, so you're a...
I'm smart. I'm just, I'm not very subtle.
Oh, that's a good roll.
All right, so how does
I
that
guess
work
11.
out there?
So I take the beers over to him and say, hey, would you guys like a drink? And hopefully try to coerce them into being calm and try to start up a conversation with the guy that you said works for the OG, and try to figure out a way to talk to him, and maybe he's our contact, and maybe this guy's his bodyguard, or maybe they're working together in some sort of way. But just try to start up a friendly conversation and get some more information about our plot, basically.
Well, the guy asks if you're Kilo, or whatever code name you've been using to
Yes.
contact him. But they're clearly not together. They just happen to be sitting next to each other at the bar.
Well, hopefully that'll calm the other guy down if I buy him a beer too.
He seems still very irritable, but he accepts your drink because you rolled so well.
Yes.
So I think we'll start up a conversation with the what's his name? Sorry, Mr. Brine.
No, Mr. Oh, with this guy, the bad guy, or with the soldier.
I would start with the
soldier's
soldier.
name.
So,
The
start with the
soldier's
soldier.
name is Goo,
Goo. All right.
and his last name is Fuss.
Goofus. Okay.
No,
He's a smart character.
no one ever calls him that.
Okay,
it's Mr. Fuss.
Mr. Fuss. All right.
Or I'm sorry, Private Fuss.
Private Fuss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should strike up a conversation with him. Ask if he seems a little uncomfortable. Is there anything that we need to know about, or
He's very, very. He's like, can we talk
yeah, let's
at somewhere quieter?
Let's do it.
yeah, let's go somewhere a little bit more out of the way here.
Well, maybe you should, but this place is packed.
Do you know of a place we can get away from prying ears?
The bartender overhears you and says, for a nice sum of cash, I can give you a private booth.
The VIP treatment.
VIP, yeah, the red rope. Yeah, let's. I've got a bit of cash. What? How about I offer you a deal? I'll give you.
It's not a deal.
No.
Snaps the bartender.
Okay.
Just pay the amount.
All right.
And he tells you how much it is.
All right.
It's a pretty good chunk of change. It would be the equivalent of a hotel stay times 2.
Times 2. Wow, that seems like a lot of dough. I happen to have a fair amount of cash. I think this is worth the investment.
All right, so the bartender nods towards one of the droids. The droid, still making coffee on the way, leads you back to a room. And when you get there, it's a small room with a booth in. The door does not close very well. You could close it, but there's no lock or anything.
Right.
It looks like it's been the door that's been kicked down multiple times over the past years.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we go in. I'm like, oh, now that it's quiet, what information do you have for us?
Guy said, listen, there is... Agramesh is really out to... There are several people who are trying to there's several scientists who are trying to free the robots, or at least free them from these routines that they're stuck in, and Agramesh wants them all killed. And so in this bar itself, there is a killer that he has hired to do so. I haven't figured out who it is. I'm just here to tell you. It's up to you. I don't know what else to do.
Oh, well, I have some hunches on
I
here.
have a pretty good idea. I have some pretty good
I am nothing but subtle!
Yes, yes. Okay. So we need to neutralize Mr. Bryan.
Do we have to neutralize him, or can't we just sneak away? Can we get out of here and try to make things happen? Like, we should maybe try to get to the place we're trying to go. I mean, maybe Mr. Bryan will follow us along the way.
Potentially.
Meanwhile, the waitress brings in food, compliments of Mr. Bryan
Oh.
in response for his beer.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not hungry.
Maybe I should have taken off my glasses before I came in here.
It might have been an idea.
Obviously, the glasses scientist thing is just a
Right.
dead giveaway.
Right.
Mr. Fuss is quite hungry
Okay.
and jumps in, but you guys can eat or not.
I'm not hungry.
We just killed Mr. Fuss.
Thanks,
Oh no!
Thanks, but no. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Well.
Do you have any information on a way for us to get into this facility? We're just trying to make sure that everything stays safe and the way things are supposed to be. But yeah, do you work or have any information?
He says, I can only tell you what I've been. This has been passed on to me. My sister is Mr. Agramesh's secretary. He says, my badge can only get me into a few of the different buildings, but I can't give it. If I'm caught without my badge, I will die. As he says that, he dies. All right, he just falls his face into the plate and dies. You don't know why.
I grab the
good idea.
badge.
Yeah,
I
for
grab
sure.
the badge from him and say, "Thanks, Mr. Bryan. You made that easy."
That's right. No, Mr. Bryan's outside.
I know.
Oh,
I
know
was
what you're
saying it.
At
Got
this
it.
point, that bouncer who you saw earlier sticks his head in the door and goes, I heard a commotion. What's going on?
Our friend here was just really tired. He was so hungry and famished. He needed to take a nap. But yeah,
Roll another bright roll for that there. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Sly.
I would have.
Oh, no, I'm terrible
roll
at
the fly? You,
I said it. It's
all
my
right.
fault.
That's not good. Because I would have said beer.
All right, well, I got a couple of these, and I'm actually going to spend one of them to have a twist happen
Okay.
here.
All right.
All right. Huh. First of all, I'd like to apologize. Agramesh is a female.
Oh.
Did not catch that
Okay.
earlier.
Listen.
Okay.
What do these things mean? You know.
Roy, in your head, you feel this whisper. Agramesh's voice. You hear it. You know it because you've heard it on the radio before. And she has a favor that she needs you to do. And that favor is to kill and she doesn't know, I guess, that this guy's dead. To kill Mr. Fuss and dispose of his body. She wants there to be no trace that he even existed. She will reward you with success. And if she fails, she will hit you with her psychic wrath. You don't hear any of this.
Oh. Okay. Good to know.
See, listen, when Elon said to get the neural implants, I knew it was a bad idea. And now everybody's just talking in my head. All right. Well, apparently, Agramesh wants us to dispose of Mr. Fuss and hide the body.
Can we trust her?
Agramesh then screams in your brain, stop telling people what I am saying to you.
This is my confidant. I need
The
to
bouncer
work
says,
together.
what did you just say?
I said our friend is sleeping, and I'm just trying to help him out. We need to find a good place for him to rest. He drank way too much, and I've got to help get him to bed. So if we could get him back to his house, everything would be fine. We definitely don't want him driving in this condition. So
Bouncer says, you just said he was dead. He's clearly dead, the bouncer says. He says, now listen, though. I'm nothing if not pragmatic. He says, this is not the first time this has happened today. You pass me a small amount of cash, and he names a cost that's twice as much as you paid to get in this room. And I'll forget this happened. You double that, I'll help you dispose of the body.
listen.
Hello, Chaz. Thanks for joining. Woo, Chaz.
Woo, Chaz. Maybe Chaz knows what to do.
Listen, I'm a tech whiz. The pockets are endless.
Yeah,
so I
tech is
can.
a
Don't forget,
burgeoning
you have
industry.
special abilities. You know, I don't know what they are, so you can always use them.
I can throw javelins. I'm not gonna throw a javelin at the guy. He's offering to help us. But yeah, I definitely, man. If you can help us out with this, that would be grateful, and we will definitely pay you handsomely.
Half up front.
So,
Do you want it wired to you or?
No, cash.
cash. I've got a fair amount of cash, but it's not on, it's not on me. It's not on me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a quick phone call. Okay.
A call, sir. Come on now. Phones don't exist.
I'm gonna make a quick neural transmission to.
It's not neural transmissions. Just use your implants. I don't know. I don't understand how you guys
The
don't know all
bottom
the
line is
details
this.
of this world I'm creating in my mind.
The bottom line is this. If you can give me 3 minutes, there will be a bag behind the bar. You can have the bartender hold up the bag, show you it's there, but you're gonna have to just give me a minute or two.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So I'm gonna hex. I'm gonna create an imaginary bag behind the bar.
Got it.
Okay?
You are a jerk.
I got to roll a sly. So this is an imaginary thing that they can see. Okay. Come on. Hey, 9,
That was
10, 11.
amazing.
All right.
Yep. The guy says, "Oh." So he disappears, and a few minutes later, he comes back with a giant burlap sack, and he fits this guy in the sack. The sack says potatoes on it, so clearly he throws it over his shoulder. He says, "Let's go," and starts walking out the door of the bar. As you guys are walking out of the bar, knocking his chair over, Mr. Brine stands up and shouts, "Where do you think you're going?"
Can we duck and hide or duck and run or
You can run.
let's do it.
Yes, we'll run.
All right. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Brine is extremely fast.
I feel like he might be.
And he's running after you, so what are you going to do now? You manage to get upstairs and outside. It's in a busy area, commercial area, because again, this is not a residential area. This is underneath that airplane hangar. Workers are still working at night. There's some change and shifting, and so there's a lot of people around. The streets are pretty dark, but there's no houses or anything nearby. What are you going to do?
I say it's time to unleash the javelin.
Yeah, I was wondering. I don't think my devouring wall is really going to help at this point.
Listen, I'm gonna throw a javelin and try to pin him to the wall so that we can get away. Because my javelin throw, if I get a 7+, it pins people to the wall or the floor.
So you're throwing a javelin at him?
Yes.
Go for it.
Come on now. Oof.
But I do have.
All right, so clearly you missed
I have
him.
+1, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't quite get
The
it.
problem is, it's a little hazy out here because there's so many people. You know, there's a lot of illegal puffing going on of various, the hushka that a lot of people take. Anyhow, there's a lot of that, and the air shimmers, and you don't see them anymore. But there is a what looks to be an airline stewardess determinedly walking towards you, holding a crystallizer. And she is pointing it at Mike, and she's about to use it.
A crystallizer. I'm going to conjure a ghostly shield to try to devour that object. Okay.
I'm gonna need to see this card. I don't know what this even means. When you conjure goes, you devour it. That's if someone. Oh, got it. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm rolling a sly, right?
Yeah.
So that's a +2.
No, hasty.
A hasty is a +1. Okay. That didn't quite cut it.
Yeah, that fails. At this point in time, you are a guy runs up to you, who has a taxi there, and he's like, "Hey!" It's a robot taxi driver, and he's like, "Do you want a taxi?" And just then he like freezes up and falls over. He was between you and the stewardess, who is still stalking towards you with a determined look on her face.
Get out of Dodge.
Let's get in the taxi.
Yeah, thanks. That's not helpful. That's like so non-descriptive.
Right.
We're gonna hop in the taxi and
Okay, you get in a
Good job.
taxi, and a robotic voice says, "Where to?"
that's a fine question. Where do we?
I was trying to figure out where we're supposed
Now
to be going.
you have another contact down in the jewelry sector of town
Okay.
who might have more information on this.
To the jewelry sector.
So leaves off, and the stewardess is running after you, in which looks like almost a scene from Terminator 2, but because she's not a Terminator, fades off into the distance.
Okay.
All right, so you've done the first one. You've accomplished that first goal, so you can now turn over your special abilities. But let's do any backstories that have happened
Okay.
since then.
We turn over now which?
You can tell me a little bit about what's on that card. You get another ability now.
A basic or a super, or just the other basic?
No, just the basic. You don't
Okay.
get the super till we go to the third one.
All right. Let's see here. So I'm now a self-made machine. Since I've escaped, I've been trying to change myself from this mining rig to an automaton. So I'm trying to make myself more functional, and now I can modify myself with scraps. I can build an extra set of arms, or a tail, or a mounted prop. I can also heal myself if I'm able to spend a lot of time on it. So basically, I'm becoming more and more usable in shape. My appendages become more, I'm looking a little bit more humanish, which is difficult for me because I don't like humans, generally speaking, but I understand that to live in a human world, I have to be able to interact more like a human. So I'm a self-made machine.
We'll actually have remote download glasses that work basically with my neural implants. I worked in the private sector for a while and helped to make these things. These allow me to communicate back with my sky base that I have. Basically, it's like a hovering ship that has all sorts of different tech stuff that can shoot out of it. Think basically Iron Man-ish. But yeah, and I can basically use them to communicate with the different databases and things like that, and also I can just use them to contact the sky base and get it to deliver things to me. So now I have the remote downlink for my my glasses there.
All right, when you get to the jewelry sector, you whoops, wrong one. When you get to the jewelry sector, you get to Takaktik Jewelers, and the reason you go there is because when you were looking through on the back of the badge, there's a business card stuck in there that told you to go there. That's why you went there. This is one of the most famous jewelers in the world, frankly. She makes everything from circuit boards to mind-altering gems. She has this vault in the back. Very high prominent people go there. Titans and mechs go there. In fact, even though it's getting later, like let's say 8 o'clock at night, there's still different robots and things browsing the shop. She's armed guards, even though this is obviously still an area of town. This is really close to the border between Agramesh and Firefly. And so robots are more open to come here, even though they still have to follow what they're going to do. And there's also people there looking for their machinery and finding stuff there. So you need to either convince her to abandon her work and leave the city because of reasons, which we'll figure out, or replace a ring that's in the vault without triggering the alarm. Now, when you get there, Roy's character has a relationship with her.
Okay.
She's your mother.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, that's a twist.
Actually,
So we're either trying to get her to leave with us or replace a ring.
you got to leave town and replace a ring. But when you get there, she comes bustling out of the back. She gives Roy's character a big hug. Says it's good to see you. Whispers in your ear, "What have you done now?"
Listen, I mean, I'm just trying to make you proud, honestly. and you've been nothing but good to me, and I'm sorry to have to come here and ask for your help again, but I've just missed you so much.
Oh, yeah, but you need to explain to her maybe what's going on.
Yeah.
Does she just work there, or she owns
Oh, she
it?
owns the place. This is her place. You don't know this because I'm telling you now, you could be rich. You have a decent allowance as it is, but you're trying to make it on your own. She's a very, very overbearing mother. She's the reason you don't like vegetables, because she told you didn't.
I would just love to see the work you've been working on. I mean, I've had a little bit of a change of a heart, and I'd love to see kind of like how everything works around here.
She slaps you and says, "Tell me the truth."
Wait, I don't get to make a roll or anything? Come on.
She's your mother!
I can't roll.
You don't roll for your mother!
That's right.
Just then you guys hear a crash outside in the alleyway. That's right next to this very expensive place that always have a nice dark alleyway next to them.
Of
Anyhow.
course, yes. Hear a crash. I think we
A guard runs out around the corner. You hear some tumbling and smashing, and then you hear a gurgling sound, and that's it.
Okay.
I think we should protect ourselves in the safe.
Okay. She says that might not be a bad idea, and leads you to the back, opens up the safe with a complicated, it's like 5 different things. There's a palm print. She has to use her eye. She has to use her husband's eye, which she kept after he died a long time ago, in a pocket. And there's also like 6 different keys which turn, and then something secret that you don't know about, and possibly a magic spell, but magic is illegal. Anyway, it opens up and you go inside. Now, this is not a small vault. This is a vault the size of a small Walmart.
Wow.
I mean, it's a huge vault, and so she shuts it behind you, but there are still even, you can look around in the vault, there are people working and things. It's like almost I said Walmart, I meant Costco, BJ's type thing, a warehouse. I mean, there's all kinds of things. How would you ever even find what you're looking for?
It's a very good question.
She says this is really the wrong time to come in here because we have a really big thing going on.
I want to try to use my glasses to see if I can conjure up, like, if there's any sort of schematics or any way to find, like, information about this ring that we're looking for. With my Neuralink.
Do we know the ring
glasses.
that we're trying to replace?
Are you saying any of this out loud?
No, I'm saying it to you.
I'm asking you as a point of reference, because we're either trying to get her to come with.
While you're asking me these questions as an invisible thing, she says, we can't be in here long because we're still, this ring needs to be gotten to Firefly tonight.
Well, do you want us to help you deliver the ring? We can make it happen. I mean, I would love to do that as your son.
She's like, do you even know Firefly?
I know Firefly.
Do you know Firefly?
Sure.
Let's roll to see if you know Firefly, you liar. Roll the realize.
Okay. Realize.
That's bright or calm.
I'm not thrilled with either, but I'll go with bright, which is just that'll work.
Oh, I guess you do know Firefly. Well, then it's good. Then you're one of the few people who knows that Firefly is getting engaged. Agramesh is not happy about this because Firefly is getting engaged to a very famous robot in another city, and if that happens, there might be an alliance which could cause Agramesh to lose control of this city. This ring is not it's a symbol, but it seems to be more than that.
Okay.
Why you say this? There's a gigantic explosion from outside, and the vault doors shake, and you hear noises and words coming from the door.
There's a lot of action going on at this jewelry store. I just feel like this is a really popular place right now.
We need to hurry up and make this delivery.
Yes.
Do you have the ring, Mom?
She says, yeah, they're working on it back over there. And indeed, back in one of the aisles, you see tables, and you see a bunch of people all working around a table. She says, not finished yet. We're still waiting for our technician to come in to do the final things. You, at this point in time, hear sirens from outside, and things seem to be calming down. And then finally, there's a knock on the door, and the police are there, apparently. Your mother asked them a code word because this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The police respond with the correct password. She opens the door. This takes another 15 minutes to go through and open this gigantic vault door. And there's police all outside. A police sergeant comes in and says there was some attacks out there. There was some Wendigos that were here. We managed to chase them away, so we don't need to worry about that. But we hadn't seen any in this town, so we're going to post some extra guards around the jewelry shop. Just then, a technician shows up. And your mother is very pleased and says, "Oh, here's the guy. He's going to be the one to program the ring. Do you want to watch him do it?"
I'm always up for learning more about technology. I know that the business is very important, and I'd like to see what's going on.
I'd like to actually see through the technician's eyes by casting a hex on them.
Roll for that.
Okay.
Roll for
There should be a sly.
yeah. Roll for sly.
3, 4, 5
Yeah, that's
plus
not
2. That's 7.
Yeah, but that doesn't. You see through their eyes as you would see through anyone's eyes. As in, like, if you were looking through my eyes right now, you'd see two idiots. That was actually too far.
Wow.
Too far. I'm
My
sorry.
goodness.
I got caught up in the.
Yeah. Yes. All right. That didn't work out well. Okay. Okay.
So you can see through his eyes.
Right.
It's like having two sets of eyes. It's a bit disorienting, actually.
Sure. Okay.
So this is a meek-looking jeweler type guy, and so he walks briskly to the back. The police are kind of still all around in the area. There's guards. There's a lot of people around. He walks to the back, and he's at a ring. He has there's an assistant with him, and the assistant comes back, and your mother says everyone here is clear, and he's there working on the ring, and you're both standing with him watching. And there's one technician who's still there. The rest have gone away. The ring is pretty much finished. This guy's doing the final work.
So, did my mom seem positive about like us letting us deliver the ring?
Oh yeah, she seemed okay, but she's still going to demand that security goes with you. This is a really big deal.
I'm down with that.
That's fine. I mean, I know Firefly, so I mean, I'm the right person to be taking this ring to them. No one else here knows them.
While you're discussing this with the mother, you hear a gurgling sound again, and you turn and you see the technician, the lone technician back, grasping at his neck, blood coming out of it, falling down, and the technician there with a knife having slashed the one that they brought in, the jeweler guy who came in, and he slashed the assistant, and he's now lunging towards both of you, but he's shimmering, and it's once again, obviously, Mr. Bryan, who you now can tell is a shapeshifter.
Oh no! I grabbed the ring and tried to protect my mom. I'm like, let's go, let's get out of here.
Oh no, your mom's talking to the police at the front door. She's not even here.
Wait, what? Okay.
Oh, I know that I said that she was here earlier because that would make more sense thematically. So yes, she still is here, but she is booking for the front door.
Okay.
Because your mom is a person who has survived this long. Why would she not continue to do so?
Correct.
She loves you, but also her life more.
I grab the ring in one hand and grab a javelin in the other, and as once again I'm trying to hurl a javelin and pin this guy to the ground. Can I roll? Can I roll?
You're throwing a javelin at Mr. Bryan?
Of course!
Go for it.
One of these jumps has to hit magnetic power!
I think he's not going to be there.
So what happens?
It pins him and stabs him straight to the wall that we were up against, and he's kind of held there for a minute. And I yell, "Let's get out of here!"
You grab the ring and get out.
And are the security guards around, like with us, or can we grab some security guards on the way?
Security guards, your mother's screaming as she's running. So the security guards are starting to turn and look this way, but they still haven't figured out what's exactly going on yet.
I yell, "There's a serial killer! Let's get out of here!"
There's a serial killer.
Yeah.
It is what he is.
So you're grabbing the ring and booking?
Grabbing the ring.
Yeah,
getting out.
and trying to
mom.
meet up
You
with
both
me,
are?
Yeah.
trying to
As
meet
you
up with
Mr.
mom,
Bryan
meet with the security guards.
manages to rip half the body that you have pinned to the wall off.
Okay.
And he turns into some blobular looking, half who knows what, and he's coming after you very slowly. The police are pointing their guns at everyone because they're not sure what's going on, and your mom's shouting to point at Mr. Brine, and the sergeant's like, get behind us, we'll protect you.
I'm trying to get behind them and also continue away.
So you're getting out the vault door,
And we
but
have the
twist!
We have the ring, though. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this melodic siren that fills the air. It's ominous. And this siren that goes off, all the robots in this place, they keep working. But the people just suddenly start disappearing. They just they like disappear in the walls and stuff. And you hear a vehicle coming down the street. You also hear a voice in your head that says, when are you going to do what I told you to do? And you realize that body of that guy is still in the car.
I thought the other dude was taking care of it for us.
He's sitting there in the car with the body waiting for you.
Okay.
So when you get out in the street, so you still hear shouting and stuff. The police are in there. Everyone else is just disappearing off the street. Why? Because there's a troop transport coming down the street from Agranesh. And it's heading straight towards the jewelry store.
All right.
And I mean, when this happens, people are just, it's the put the windows down, put the shades down. People are very, very.
We've got the ring. I think we should get back in the cab.
Yeah.
Dispose of the body, and then get to Firefly.
Can't we just call that dude and be like, dude, don't wait up. Go do your job. We paid you a lot of money.
So you shouted that to the guy?
No, we neurally communicate it through the car's stereo.
No worries. Okay. So when you get out, the taxi's gone.
Okay.
The guy is taking it.
Where's our security team? We need our security team to take us.
Your security team is currently fighting in the vault. You guys are out here alone, basically. All normal humans disappeared. There's a few robots in the shop who are doing various mundane things. There's a couple making coffee. And there's one that looks like he's making a car. But anyhow.
Not getting distracted.
All other humans have disappeared except that in the doorway to the vault, which is in the back of the shop, there's still police. There's a few police officers, but they all ran into the vault, and you hear shouting and screaming and shooting.
And you have no access to your vehicle at this point.
Well, I basically was hoping we would get a caravan to Firefly.
Yeah.
Since this
Hope springs eternal. Wouldn't that be easy?
Yes. Okay.
Do we know where this ring is supposed to go?
I mean, I know Firefly, so I should theoretically know where they are.
Well, you know, Firefly has a hideout in the Tipper Quarry.
In Tipper Quarry. So
That's kind of where her base of operations are.
We need to head to Tipper
Or
Quarry.
his. I'm not even sure if Firefly's. Hang on, I can tell you. It doesn't really matter. Firefly's a robot.
All right. But we need to go to Tipper Quarry.
Well, let's do it.
We go to Tipper Quarry.
How?
Look,
I'll let you take charge on this one.
It's a beautiful day. I mean,
I just said there's an armed troop transport heading directly
I guess
towards
that's
you.
fair. I guess we do need to deal with the armed troop transport.
Just stay away from the armed troop transport. The armed troop
I could
transport
also,
can destroy my mom's jewelry shop.
I can try to cast a devouring wall at that thing.
How about you talk someone else into taking us there?
Well, I mean, I could coerce somebody, but there's no one around. He said that they're all kind of off they've gone away into the ether.
I'm going to use my remote downlink to conjure up some vehicle boards for us to ride on. Try to call them from my dropship.
Vehicle boards.
Are you talking about Back to the Future hoverboards?
Basically, exactly Back to the Future hoverboards, except
like
a
the way
little
this
bit more
sounds,
high tech.
I like the way this sounds.
Go for it.
Make it happen. Tipper Quarry. There we go.
So they come.
Basically, like Iron Man suit shooting out, but it's just hoverboards. And they pop down, and like, let's ride! I jump on mine.
I'm on mine.
And
A loudspeaker from the troop transport like, stay where you are.
we're gone. I'm going as fast as we can.
Yep.
What did I just say?
Can't hear you. Already gone.
All right, so you're zooming down the streets, which are pretty empty at this point in time, and you head to the quarry. It's a fairly uneventful ride to the quarry.
Yes.
I'm digging these things.
So you turn over your last card.
All right.
And let's talk about the quarry. So you get to the quarry. At the quarry, there are robots everywhere. In fact, there's nary a human to be seen. It's just behind the city limits. It's a gaping chasm. There's gold, oil, and Atma have been quarried here over the years. There was a lot of safety mishaps at this place. I mean, they did not obey the laws of you cannot have people under the age of 8 working here. That's the law of the city. You have to be 8 before you're allowed to get a job at a quarry. And they had people here who were 6 or so. So you're in this quarry, or you're at the quarry, and there's robots going around, but there's not a lot of other buzz here. And your goal is, you know what? Well, your goal is to either trap a powerful foe deep within the mines, whoever this foe may be, or to dig up a power cell from a satellite buried in the rock. I'm not even allowing you to do that one because that doesn't make any sense according to this story. So there's a foe. So,
do we know who this foe is?
It could be the guy's been chasing us the entire time.
Is the foe human?
who are you asking these questions to?
The one who knows.
Anyway, so I now have my orbital dropship.
Right.
I'm calling it over top of the mine, so I'll have access to it. I can now call down railgun shots, or anti-gravity pulses, or even medical pods.
Well, I can now dominate humans, and I can do that by controlling them like a puppet, using my hex power. Now
What is wrong with you two?
Now I can.
You guys sound like villains,
I
frankly.
can control their body like a puppet, so I can.
You know what? I
perhaps
forgot to take my
lead them down into the mine.
take my thing here.
If our foe happens to be human.
All right, I'm doing a twist here.
All right, twist it up.
So you can control humans,
Potentially.
and you can drop down rail shots from the sky. The mercury drops out of sight as bitter winds pick up, and snowflakes lash at your cheeks outside of town. At least you hope there's snowflakes.
My metallic cheeks.
A sky-high fortress of black clouds eats the horizon. It's coming soon. It's a snow devil. It's a living storm. And when it comes, the world will fall away in silence. And as you look in the background, you see it coming. It's about maybe a mile away, but you can see because it's a pretty flat area, and you see the trees crumble into nothing as it comes. You've heard of these things. You know that they're only around for about, a few hours, but they are extremely destructive. And when they come, people run for the nearest inside shelter. Totally up to you, though. You can welcome to use your psychic power or your laser blasts if you so desire.
You know what I'd really like to do? Get in the mine!
Yeah, let's get in the mine. I'd like to get in the mine. How close are we to the mine?
Well, there's multiple entrances all over the place, so.
We still have the hoverboards. Let's just hover our ways into a mine, the nearest entrance to the mine.
All right, I'm just going to say that when you get to the mine, you certainly can go into the mine, but I don't think the hoverboard will, it's not like.
Yeah, we park
Yeah,
them.
that's fine. We can just park them. There's the hoverboard parking right outside.
They're used to the hoverboard traffic.
That's it.
All right, so you enter the mine? All right. When you get inside the mine, there's a robot guard at the door. He asks you what you're doing there.
You're better talking than I am.
Yeah, I'm a close personal friend of Firefly.
Wait, you said earlier that you knew Firefly.
Look, Firefly and I are like this. Firefly and I have a long history together. I don't like to talk about it. As a matter of fact, I've been told not to talk about it. But we're here to see Firefly, and we have a very, very important thing to talk to them about.
One moment, please.
Does he need to make a coerce roll?
Listen, you're a robot. We're all on the same side here. We're doing the work of the good.
Oh, interesting. The guard says, Firefly will see you, but you're going to need to go down several levels. And so points you to an elevator. Says, I hope you can get into that elevator if you are such a close personal friend of hers.
So we go up. Does the card that I have work from the guard we had from before?
Interesting.
At the elevator?
Yes.
As you get closer to the elevator, the card starts turning clear, and on it are notes to a popular song.
Oh snap! What are we? I try to sing the song.
If
If
it's a
it's so
popular
popular,
song, we know it.
All right, we'll roll then for a bright roll here
Roll
for your
Bright's good
singing.
for you. There we go.
All
He
right.
sings like an angel.
How well do you sing?
listen.
Perfectly on key.
I'm down with the soul. So I mean, if it's a soul song, it's good. If it's any of that poppy pop, I'm gonna have to
You
leave it to
rolled.
the
You
robot.
tell me what happened.
I start belting out the tune. You've never heard such a sultry, moving piece before.
Sultry and moving. Wow. That's impressive.
Listen, that's how we do.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
The door opens. You've heard of this. Firefly loves music for whatever reason, and her keys are keyed to music. And so this key seems more powerful than being just an ordinary key from an ordinary person. Because it shouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, you get in the elevator, and you see, normally elevators have buttons. This just has a has a numeric keypad. You can enter the floor you want to go in, but you don't know which floor to go to. But Mike, it does come to you.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike punches in 94, and so that's shooting downwards, going down to 494.
Okay.
Some beautiful music's playing in the elevator. Let's all pause and reflect. No, it's robotic music. It's all 8-bit.
It's like
Because that's
dubstep.
All right, you get down at 494, and there's another guard there. Asks you what you want. And there's also a few humans poking about down here, which is a little odd. A couple of them are smoking wooshka.
Wooshka, man.
Listen, man, these people are supposed to be working, and they're
That's
all
right.
on the wooshka.
They're all hopped up on the wooshka. We're here to see Firefly. Firefly's expecting us.
And the guard says, that's correct, she is. So you go down to Firefly, down this room, and there's a pretty big antechamber. When you walk in, Firefly is against the wall, just, sitting there. Where is Firefly? Oh, I'm sorry, Firefly's floating on the wall.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Firefly is indeed a satellite, an artificial intelligence. She was once a pair of radio satellites, WAEB and WKJV. And now she's one of the city's two rulers, and she was there, and now she only speaks in song. Thank you for writing that down.
There you go. Get ready. Here we go, Tom. Let's get those pipes.
And
in
so
good
when
use.
anyone talks to her, they also sing.
Oh, come
Firefly has oil tears coming from its eyes and zooms over to you and goes, "Hello, my love," to you.
on. Oh.
I don't know why it's taken you this long to realize that Mike has been hiding from you, that he is the one who's engaged to Firefly.
It's beautiful.
I designed that ring myself, as a matter of fact. I'm kind of proud of the design. Yeah.
That would have come in useful earlier if you had pointed that stuff out.
Well, look, I didn't want to expose everything. I felt like it was safer to handle things the way we did. And obviously it worked. We're here.
Could you explain a little bit to how you even met Firefly and what you find attractive about her? She says that she loves you. I'm
So-
sorry, I got to be more robotic about that.
One of the things when I was a mining platform that I noticed was humans would oftentimes, when they're doing their work, they would sing. And it was something that I felt this deep kind of yearning for. And so as soon as I began to become more and more human-like, one of the things that I really focused on was learning how to replicate this singing thing. And one day I was practicing, and out of the distance comes Firefly, attracted like a moth to the flame to my what was it, sultry and soulful and sultry singing. And we immediately had a connection. We knew that we had a shared goal of releasing our robot kin from the overthrow of from the strictness of these humans, and we had a love of music. So that's really what it's all about.
It really is.
That's so beautiful. I almost shed a human tear.
But you don't have
of
time because
actual
your
song.
mind is getting another telepathic
Uh-oh.
thing from Agarmesh that says, this
I
is
need
what
to
you've
update
been...
my firewall on this thing.
Right.
Agarmesh says, this is what you've been trained for, this is what you've been raised for. Now kill them both, or I will destroy you.
Is there a way to turn off the implant?
It's not an implant, it's just psychic backlash. Yeah, I mean, it's psychic things. It does feel very weak, because if you do remember, you are 90 floor for things down in
Not
this
getting good
quarry.
Wi-Fi in here.
It really is bad. The password is just A, because if you get down this far, you don't have time to be doing a long password.
I'm gonna completely and totally ignore that. I'm a technologist at heart, honestly, and I believe that AI has just as much rights as humans do, and there's no
apparently
reason.
you're thinking all that. Roll a tough here. I want to see if you can.
You can do it.
Actually, roll peace.
Peace? Oh, calm.
Calm. Sorry.
Calm. I have +1 to calm.
That'll do.
There's some pain, but you think you can go through it.
My head. I'm holding my head. I'm like, the voices.
Kilo? What's going on?
I pull out the ring. I'm like, do it before it's too late. And I hold out the ring to you.
I take the ring. I give it to my beloved, and I sing.
What do you say?
I sing our song. It's called. It's called "A Million Robotic Tears Fall from the Sky Like Rain." It's not a short song. It's a long title, but it means a lot to us.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And even the wooshka smoking people pause in their delirium to listen, nodding along. In fact, one guy who apparently was what do you call like a huckster, was like
Snake
playing.
oil salesman?
He flips over his wooshka barrel and is playing
it's
on
in
it
barrel.
to go
Barrel
around.
full of wooshka, man.
Oh,
they're not kidding
wooshka
around.
is. You guys are being distracted by the way human drugs are.
Sure.
Wooshka is done in handfuls, and you throw it into your face, and it covers your face,
Okay.
goes up your nose and your
Seeps through your
ears and
pores
stuff,
and
and
wow.
seeps through your pores.
Wow.
It's a really strong drug, by the barrel.
Wow, my
Like,
goodness.
it's not that dangerous, frankly.
I've never
There's
been
a lot
a fan.
of people arguing that it should
I
be
like clarity of
completely legal.
mind. I'm just not a fan of being under the influence of wooshka.
Right. I'm under the influence of love.
We're getting off topic here. The wooshka scenario is next time.
Okay, fair.
Meanwhile, the elevator door is open because if you haven't noticed, they go on up and come back down, and a robot guard's head comes rolling into the room.
Uh-oh.
And there, framed in the doorway, looking 5 feet taller than he was last time, is Mr. Bride, holding a dagger. One of the wooshka-addled humans shouts, "You'll never destroy my music," and runs at him, and he just cuts the guy right in half. Happily, the guy is so hopped up on wooshka that he thinks he's fine and dies happily.
I attempt to dominate Mr. Brine. I want to have him take control of his body. He will take that dagger and thrust it into his own heart.
Yeah, his mind is protected
Okay, that's
by
a shame.
Agramesh.
Okay.
That is an impossible role.
That seems tough. That's a shame.
That is called story armor, or what, plot armor.
Okay, fair enough.
But also, you're just not strong enough to do it.
Got it. Okay.
What is the room
Also,
like?
behind him is about, you just realize, I have to pay 2 for these. Are a bunch of human soldiers from Triptech. These are squads of soldiers that are coming with him from Agramesh, his army, that are there. There's 6 of them. Him and 6 soldiers behind him.
Seems like I should be able to control one of them to shoot it.
That would be a more legitimate.
Okay, so I'm going to
thing.
try to dominate one of these troopers to shoot Mr. Bryan.
Not a problem.
All right, so I get a +1 to my slice, so now I'm rolling I've got a +3.
Go for it.
9.
9. So your shot succeeds and hits him. It just doesn't seem to phase him at
Oh,
all.
that's a shame. Seems like a waste of dominating, you know? You think you dominate somebody, you think you know them. All right.
Well, of course, I'm letting magnetic javelins fly toward this guy's
Javelin
direction.
says, "Attack, my beloved!" And her robot guards come out, and they're like with swords all over the place, and they just go to town. They go in there, and they actually managed to kill 3 of these guards. There's only 3 left.
Okay.
But Mr. Brine just slashes them to pieces.
I'm going to try to throw my javelins to knock him back into the elevator, and then also try to figure out what we can do from there. So I'm going to try to knock him back into the elevator shaft. That is 6. I mean, I have. Yeah, it's a 6. I don't get pluses on, I guess. Well, actually, it's a calm, so it's +1. So it's technically 7 exactly. Which 7 means it's supposed to work.
Well, I get one of these, so I'm going to pull a plot twist here.
Okay.
Some weird thing. Well, explain to me what you were doing again.
I was trying to throw a javelin to knock him back into the elevator.
So we can shoot that elevator back up.
Actually, I wanted to shoot the elevator down
the
even
elevator
further
down.
and trap him beneath.
All right, so
the
you
mine.
hit him. It pins him to the wall, like you said. The problem is, as you do that, you notice that your hand is all infected, because the last time you were in the battle with him, you got cut. You didn't think anything about it, but you are noticing that you have the plague. It's actually, it's called the Valnubis strain. Now, it's at its very, very beginning stages, and because we probably won't be playing this scenario much, much longer, you're probably going to be fine, probably.
But we need to get this.
Anyway, he slams back into the elevator.
And you shoot it, and we're
The
shooting
two
down.
guards that were there are still shooting wildly in the room. Most of the Wooshka people are dead,
Okay.
except for the guy who had been playing on the drum. He is actually hiding inside the barrel, and that is probably more Wooshka than you should have. At one point, he seems to be singing in there, and Mr. Bryan is screaming, "No music," and the guards are shooting at the barrel now.
I'm
Okay.
going to try to use my remote downlink to try to wreck the elevator and smash it into the bottom floor of the entire mine.
The thing is, if you can get the elevator down, I can actually just use a devouring wall and get rid of the shaft. He can never get back up.
Can you do you have tech stuff at all? Oh, you're just all like spirity.
Yeah,
spirity
I'm
guy.
spirity. I'm a witch.
It's a witch.
How do we know he's a witch? All right, I'm sorry.
He weighs the same as a duck.
The card says the witch.
Apparently.
That was a better answer,
It
Mike.
was a better answer, yes. So what are you?
You're calling a shot from your thing to hit the shaft?
I'm
no.
trying to use my remote glasses to hack into the system. I'm the tech
You've
guy,
already
man.
got him.
I've already got him back into the elevator, right?
Right.
So I'm trying to
We
drop
need-
it
He's
down
pinned
to
to
the
the
bottom.
elevator, but he's already starting to rip off his arm again while you've been discussing this.
I'm gonna try to do a thing. 4, 5,
7.
6, 7 is not exactly perfect. You tell me what happens.
So the elevator doors are closing, and it's starting to move down, and it's working. It's starting to go down, and Firefly is like, "What are you doing? That's the only way out of here."
I'm trying to
that's
drop
a
him
twist.
down to the bottom level. Hopefully your guards
She's
can
like,
get him
"There
there.
are monsters on the bottom level. No one dares go down there."
I'm hoping he'll be devoured. You can destroy him with your monsters.
Yeah, she didn't understand anything you said until you started singing.
There you go. Nice.
Unleash the monsters upon creepy slime guy.
She is remotely telequeuing, and there is another elevator. This elevator shaft is more than one elevator.
Ah.
It goes up and down pretty far, and they're set up with a thing they'll never hit each other. It's just in one down. The elevator goes down to the 150th level, so you can see it digging down, but the other one is coming down.
Okay, so Mr. Slime is going down right now.
That is correct. Or at least the car he was in is going down, yes.
Has Firefly put on the ring yet? You're supposed to do your job.
I gave Firefly the ring.
She knows she has not put it on yet.
Put on the ring, my dear.
I do not know how she fell in love with you.
Yeah, well, look.
I was gonna say, you were not very charismatic about giving the. I had to throw the ring at her.
Put on the ring.
It's a weird looking ring, by the way.
Yeah.
I know that people who are watching may think that this is a ring that you just put on like this, but again, Firefly is this big creature.
Well, we
You
are-
actually
I
need
don't
to
think
get a
we showed
Comcast
Firefly.
person to install the ring.
Did we show Firefly? Yeah. Look how lovely Firefly is.
All right, Firefly has the ring, puts the ring on, and she freezes in place when this happens. And on her screen it says uploading, and it's at 1%,
Oh, jeez.
2%, slowly going up. Looks
See,
like
you
it'll be
should have
several
started the
minutes.
install process earlier.
I thought I did. I thought I gave her the ring much
Listen,
earlier ago.
you should know that love takes time.
All right, elevator 2 gets down there, and a few guards fall out, and there is another squad of Conclave troopers there. and they just start shooting in the room. Now, fortunately for one of them, for you, as they come in, Wooshka guy has curled himself up into a barrel, he's in the barrel, rolls the barrel, knocks one of them over, who falls backwards into the elevator. And the door is closed, but the elevator doesn't move. But there's still 5 more.
5 Conclave soldiers. I have a feeling he wants us to fight. We haven't fought yet.
I'm about to say, I've been throwing javelins this entire time. How is that not fighting? You're the one. You get to. You're lover boy over here.
I've been trying to put walls up and dominate people. I mean, I could dominate one of them and have him try to shoot the other, and then shoot himself.
Do whatever you want.
You are a villain.
Look. This is all for good. This is
see you all later.
That's kind of what it's about. Yeah.
Listen, the singularity is inevitable. So.
All right, I'm gonna give it a shot because I've got a +3 on.
Oh,
that.
someone asked here that they thought that the Wooshka guy was dead, but the barrel's made out of titanium.
Oh well, sure. I mean, everyone knows that you got to keep your Wooshka in a titanium barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, anything less just won't cut. That's a 5 + 3, 8.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you trying to do?
Dominate one of the Conclave soldiers to kill the 4 and then themselves.
All right, and that happens. He kills the other ones before they notice, although the last one that he kills manages to turn around and shoot him.
Okay.
So at least you don't have a suicide on your guilty
Thank you.
conscience.
Appreciate that.
It's essentially the same thing, but you will justify it away at some point, I'm
Look,
sure.
I mean, these dominator overthrowers of the robot kind, I don't have a lot of sympathy for them, I must say.
Uploading is at 40%.
40%.
The elevator stops at 4146 and now is starting to come back up.
All right, so we need to get in that elevator.
Let's do it. Let's get out of here.
Let's get in the
I mean,
elevator.
honestly, I just think robots should be allowed to choose their own path. They shouldn't be forced to only make coffee. Shouldn't be forced to only make
Did
cars.
you just tell him to get out of here and then tell him he could make his own choice?
No, I'm just saying we should get out of here so
Yeah.
your love can flourish.
We all get into the elevator.
Let's go to
All right,
the
just to clarify, who's getting in the
elevator.
elevator?
Kilo?
Well, when you open the door, the other guy's still there, stunned, that last
Oh,
soldier.
he's not dead.
No, but he's just knocked out because he got hit by the Wooshka barrel.
All right, so we should fling him out of there.
We should fling him out of there and let's get Wooshka guy come with us. Wooshka
Yeah,
guy,
we'll bring
Firefly,
Wooshka guy,
you,
Firefly.
We can have a beautiful honeymoon. It'll be
That's right.
great.
It says that there's you can have 12 people in this car, so we got plenty of room. It says capacity 12.
What are you doing?
Got it. Okay, so it's you two, Firefly. There was one remaining Firefly drone, not a guard.
Okay.
Bringing that to, and Wooshka barrel guy.
Sure.
We got the crew.
That's it.
We got the crew.
That's it.
So you're.
And then you're going to bring your thing to. Can that carry us?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
So you're shooting up
as
towards the
long as
surface.
the
Yes.
demon hasn't destroyed it
and
by
when
now.
we get there, his thing is going to be waiting for us.
As you're going up, the other elevator is moving up, but it's about 30 floors below you.
Okay.
There is a 10-floor barrier. So
Okay.
this is not going to be able to get higher than floor 10. However, the elevator is able to move to the side. At the top, there's an area for that, so that both elevators could come to the top.
That's convenient.
This
okay.
is. Yeah, it is, because otherwise it would be a really stupid system.
It would be a really.
It's
dumb
a stupid system anyway, as I think about it. It would make a whole lot more sense to have 2 shafts. But
Look,
shut up!
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, that's what happens when you let humans run things.
Okay, so you get to the top, you get out, and there's bodies strewn everywhere and robot parts. There was apparently a battle, and you hear shooting outside, and there's spaceship battles and it's like a small full-scale assault going on here between Firefly's troops and the Conclave, although the Conclave is losing. Roy, you get hit with another psychic thing that says this is your last chance, kill or I will wound you, because there is not much more interference now.
That's fine. I ignore it. I mean, I'm not gonna be bullied by some thing in my head.
As you do that, there's a few other Conclave soldiers nearby, and they are down. And in fact, every human in the area, and you included, is feeling this massive psychic lash. Everyone is affected as a human. Wooshka doesn't seem affected at all. He's like, what's going on? Why am I not hearing anything?
You may need to get in on this Wooshka train, Roy, or Kilo.
Is that the prime directive of what I should be doing?
I don't know. He's a human and he's not being affected by it.
Is this the intervention of the Wooshka? I ask him, I try to do a bright test and be like, why are you not affected? My head is pounding. I try to figure out what's going on.
He doesn't seem to be affected by much at all, but he seems to have some clarity. He's reached another level, it looks like.
The Wooshka transcendence?
You might want to see if he's got any extra Wooshka sitting around.
Teach me of your ways, Mr. Wooshka. How can I avoid the psychic backlash?
Well, he says most of his Wooshka fell out while the barrel was rolling, but there's like 10 barrels sitting right here in the entrance. Apparently, they store a lot here at the quarry. It keeps visiting humans happy when they come to see Firefly.
Cool. we celebrate the union of love with Wooshka.
The other elevator, by the way, is slowly moving into the wall by this and that. Last one's starting to come up.
What are we at here on the download? What are we?
80%.
Oh my goodness! All right.
I call for I see if my orbital.
Roy, the pain is getting worse.
What am I supposed to do? I tried to roll clarity to see what I should do. I rolled good.
I feel like I spelled it out as clearly as I could.
I told you I was going to take the Wooshka or whatever.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. So Roy goes and sticks his head in the barrel. That's the proper way to do it.
Okay.
And instantly, the voice gets fuzzier in your head. You're feeling really good, but you can't remember why things were even so dangerous. Like, you hear battles outside, and those guys are wasting their time. Why are they even doing this?
I agree.
Everything should just be about love.
Obviously. Robotic love.
Now, this only lasts for about 5 minutes, just so you know, because you only stick your head in and out. But it's enough to clear the voice out of your head and doesn't seem to be coming back.
Am I able to connect with my orbital drop to try to bring it closer to the door of the mine?
You are.
I try to call.
The elevator is coming up, by the way. It's at like 5th floor, and Firefly's like, if he gets out, he'll never stop following us.
I want to cast a hex. I want to cast an imaginary, looks to be a mountain of rubble that is impassable. It looks to be a mountain of rubble as soon as those elevator doors open.
Okay.
So that when the doors open, they look trapped.
Got it.
All right. So I've got a 11.
It's pretty good.
All right. So the elevator gets to the top. The doors open, and you see Mr. Bryan standing there, and he looks confused, and he's pausing to know what to do. At this point, Firefly's thing reaches 100%. And she says, what's going on? I'm sorry, what's going on?
We've got to get out of here. You've called your...
I've called my orbital drone. We're trying to escape, and a serial killer is following
your goal
us.
is to trap your creature.
We have to trap him.
Oh, yes, we have to trap him.
I tried to trap him. I just sent him
She
down to the bottom.
smiles, or what would be the equivalent of a robot smile, and says, no problem. Immediately, the elevator drops. The last thing you see, Mr. Bryan, is his mouth going, oh. You didn't know an elevator could drop this fast. Before it was like 80, 79. Now it's going 1, 10, 20, 30, just
This
shooting
makes the
down.
Tower of Terror look like nothing.
Right.
Tower of Terror actually comes from this elevator.
Oh, nice.
So then it hits the bottom, and she says, I don't know how long I can keep it down there.
Can we malfunction or destroy it?
We need something flammable. Wooshka guy says, not a problem. Takes 5 barrels, throws them down there. Wooshka is one of the most flammable substances in human history.
Sure.
Again, probably not the best thing to be ingesting in your system.
Correct.
So these barrels are falling down to the bottom.
And we need to, what do we have that can set it on fire? We could shoot. I know that's shooting at a foe.
Won't they just explode when they hit the bottom, or no?
Probably not. Otherwise, people would die all the time from Wooshka. I mean, they do, but even more often.
Finally, I use my robotic arm to pop out a little lighter, and I flip it open and throw it down after the whooshka.
All right. After about 30 seconds, if the thing it takes a long time for the lighter to fall down. It falls at 45 feet per second. Whatever. However long it takes, there's a massive explosion, and you can see flames coming up the tunnel towards you.
We run! Try to get in the orbital drop! Come
All
on,
right.
robots and whooshka, dude! Let's get
So you
out
get
of
into the
here.
orbital drop. Firefly, meanwhile, says that she has been transmitting across the city. As soon as you get outside and you see the robots everywhere cheering because they are no longer being forced to make coffee. They are no longer being forced to make cars. They
Hooray.
can live. They can love.
They can sing.
So you make it up to your orbital dropship. The drone. Now this drone that you brought with you, as Freed says, that it has determined that it would like to become a clerical drone. Mm-hmm. It has already downloaded, passed all the courses, and been ordained in 22 seconds.
Okay, sounds legit.
And offers to marry you on the spot.
I think that's a splendid idea.
They're robots, so it is normally a short ceremony, but it is an incredibly long, drawn out. It is as long as an opera, because it is. All right, an opera
an
with
opera
some,
wedding. I
some
like it.
rap and country elements in the middle. It's very confusing.
Chicken dance?
Critics
As long as
said
it's soulful.
critics said 1 out of 10 would not go into again.
Much better than Cats. I'll watch it again and again.
And then they go off on their honeymoon, which Roy said he was going on too.
Listen, somebody's
take a
got
little bit of the magic out of
Somebody's
it,
got to
but I
help
guess.
with the upgrades and the.
And that's when the Dice Tower went off the rails.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well then, huzzah! And that is the end of this episode. Mr. Brine, is he dead? We don't know. Now, folks who are watching, you'll notice some people, I saw someone say something like, they didn't want to be spoiled. We didn't spoil anything because we made up like 80% of this card. All right. No,
Absolutely.
these cards are just prompts to help you.
I
There's-
do want to say if there's not a whooshka card in the game or a whooshka twist, you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
You should always have the whooshka twist.
I guess.
By the way, it's spelled W-O-O-S-H-K-A.
That's how I would have spelt it. So yeah, it's very good.
It's a popular drug all throughout the city. And of course, you can play this as long as you want. We could play with the same characters and do
Right.
more stories. And so if you back this, and by the way, there's a link in the description of videos, you can learn more about the game. You'll get all these cards, plus there's 2 more characters, like I said. Plus, we played with 3 different scenes. Like we played at a jewelry shop, at the quarry, and but we could have been to the Meriden Tower, downtown market, the freezer, an abandoned ship. There's all kinds of things. And then if you get the whole thing, you'll have a whole lot more.
And they could win the whole thing.
You could. So if you're watching now, which you shouldn't have jumped out, don't forget we have a contest. Email us at contest@dicetower.com. Subject line, put Atma, A-T-M-A, as you can see in the TV behind us. And 2 North American winners will win that. We'll let you know. And that's pretty much it.
You did a splendid job as a GM, I must say. Very well done.
Well, we played with a low player count. This could play with more players than what we played it with. So normally a session you should take around maybe 2 hours or so. We're a little bit faster because there was 3 of us, but that should give you an idea of how the game plays. And the game will come with its own dice and tokens. You don't have to use unicorn poop.
Although you're welcome to if you like.
So there you go. You tell your own story. We'll remember our story for a long time after this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Check out the game at the link. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike Licio. Take care.
And I'm Roy Kennedy.
Have fun gaming.